Let's start out with what I got right in my predictions for 2018. And by the way, if you want to refer back, last year's prediction show is episode 529, if you want to verify. That was last year's show. Here's what I got right in 2018. I predicted that Shinsuke Nakamura would win the Royal Rumble match, which he did. And I also said I wanted him and AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And to the surprise of few, he did choose AJ to challenge for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Now, they didn't have their best match at WrestleMania, but it was the start of the heel turn for Nakamura, and they went on to have a series of matches, I think some of which were a lot better, much better, in fact, than their WrestleMania match. I predicted that Lita, Trish Stratus, and Molly Holly would all be entrants in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Again, Lita and Trish especially, not a huge shock there, although I don't think they did announce Molly in advance. I predicted that Daniel Bryan would be cleared to wrestle again in a WWE ring, and that he would even team up with Shane McMahon at WrestleMania to take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I predicted that Bill Goldberg would headline the class of 2018 WWE Hall of Fame. Also floated Eric Bischoff and Sid Justice, Psycho Sid, Sid Vicious, Softball Sid, call him whatever you want. I did float his name and Bischoff's name also as potential inductees. They did not get in, although I think both of them are equally deserving of going in. I predicted that Kane would win the election to become the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. He is now Mayor Kane. I said Jeff Hardy would finally get that elusive Hell in a Cell match that he's always wanted, which he did, although it was not against Samoa Joe, as I had predicted. Although now he is feuding with Samoa Joe. So it just took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but they are feuding now. I predicted that Rusev would have a breakout year as a babyface, and he would not win the WWE title, he would not win the Universal title, but he would hold singles gold, which he did. He won the United States Championship on the Christmas episode of SmackDown. See, I came in just under the deadline with that one. So those are the key ones that I got right. Now, here are some other predictions that were at least partially right, not completely right. I said that Kurt Angle would wrestle Triple H at WrestleMania, which he did, technically, but I also said he would lose, and instead he won. I said Randy Orton would go heel again, which he did, but he stayed on SmackDown. He did not return to Monday Night Raw. I said EC3 would leave Impact Wrestling and return to WWE, which he did, but not as a member of the Raw roster, like I thought. He went to NXT instead, although I still think he does end up on Monday Night Raw. And I said that Chris Jericho and Tetsuya Naito would have their match at the Dominion show in Osaka in June, which they did, but I said Naito would win, which he did not. And so now, let's get to all the predictions I got very wrong in 2018. I predicted that Ronda Rousey would win the Women's Royal Rumble match as a surprise entrant, last eliminating Stephanie McMahon, and that she would challenge Asuka for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania in the Battle of the Arm Bars. Of course, I said Asuka would first win the championship. She'd have to win the title from Alexa Bliss at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Neither of those things happened. Although I did say that Ronda would end up on Raw, because Raw is their baby, it's their flagship. And I just could not see them putting her on SmackDown. That'll be different later this year. We'll get to that in a second. I predicted Roman Reigns would slay the beast, Brock Lesnar, at WrestleMania and win the Universal title, which was very wrong. I was off, well, it wasn't very wrong. I mean, I was only off by about 5 months. I predicted The Miz and Peyton Royce as the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder match winners. See, I got it right the year before when I predicted Baron Corbin, but last year, not so much. Instead, it was Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss went on to win. I predicted Big Cass would return from his injury as a heel, which he did, but I said he would reunite with Enzo Amore. But with Enzo as more of a mouthpiece than a tag team partner, which I still think would have been the best role for him. I said Cody Rhodes would headline the All In show and that he would do so against Kenny Omega after months of building to a Bullet Club split in New Japan. They did have a match, but it was not on that All In show. I predicted Okada would continue his record-setting reign as IWGP champion throughout 2018, only to finally drop the belt to Kenny Omega in their fourth and final match, or fourth and deciding match anyway, in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 13. And obviously we just had Wrestle Kingdom 13, and Omega did not win the championship. Instead, he lost the championship, and it wasn't to Okada, it was to Tanahashi.